there is a fruit just behind you here. That one, I don't know, you can try and touch it and see. Yeah, good. So you can just remove it. Yeah, let me have it. So this fruit, if you can look at it, it's rotting. So we had these instances here. They sent me photos. Actually, it was like a whole bucket of fruits with this problem. And if you can see, the rotting has started from the attachment here. This is botrytis, and it's a very dangerous disease. Most farmers, most capsicum farmers, and even tomato farmers don't know this disease. They just think everything that affects tomato or capsicum is blight or baridi. But yeah, it's a fungal disease, but this is botrytis. So again, we have been very keen with our spraying program to ensure we don't have this disease build up. There's a difference between botrytis and blossom end rot, because again, there are farmers who send me this and they tell me my fruits are, or my greenhouse, as some of the fruits are suffering what appears to be blossom end rot. First of all, blossom end rot is not a disease. Normally it starts here. The rotting starts here. That is at the bottom. For botrytis, the rotting starts around this attachment. So I was saying, blossom end rot, first of all, it's a physiological disorder. It results from mostly poor or inconsistent or uniform irrigation. So it has more to do with the irrigation. If your crops are not getting water consistently or uniformly, you are likely to have blossom end rot, either in the outside or open field or inside the greenhouse. 2, blossom end rot can also be as a result of calcium deficiency. If it is also calcium deficiency, again, in a way, if I explain further, it's also somehow related to the soil moisture, because we all know that agronomically, calcium is one of very immobile elements. So if your crop or if your soil or your farm has soil moisture issues, again, the calcium translocation or calcium distribution in your crops will have problems. Another physiological disorder the fruits may suffer or that may show up in the greenhouse is when you have some very hard fruits. Like, let me try to use an example of a fruit here. Yeah. You might realize you are having a fruit which look more of these, but that's when the fruits are mature. This fruit is just it still has some time. It can be caused by what we call heat stress. Remember, I talked about using the roll-up to ensure that we don't have heat build up inside the greenhouse. So in case there are the high temperatures, heat build up inside the greenhouse, you might realize you are having some funny looking fruits with a very hard looking skin. That's more of just a physiological disorder. You also might see some fruits which appear when they are mature. Let me see if we can also get another fruit. We don't have still on this one. Well, fruits are mature, but most of them will look like this, like a fist, sort of. They don't want to take the shape, the normal shape of a fruit. Like when I'm talking about the normal shape, this is the normal shape. And I'm talking about this because I know buyers know these things. Buyers will ask you or will try to grade your fruits or your harvest in terms of how the fruits look like. So maybe you don't know why some of the fruits might look or might have the funny shape. Sometimes it's about the pollination. Poor pollination. Remember, here we don't have any pollinators inside the greenhouse. So sometimes also when you are working when you are doing the normal routine practices like pruning, trellising, sometimes we even recommend where you just move like this, uh, trying to shake these twines. Yeah, it's a very important practice just to ensure that there is a pollination, or just to aid the pollination to avoid such fruits. But again, I believe pollination is one of the things the breeders or the seed makers have in mind when developing their seeds. But it happens when we have already bought the seeds, we realize we are having pollination issues. I've just shown you a simple way of doing it, simple and practical. On protection, actually, the reason is why we have the controlled environment, or one of the major, one of the importances of our greenhouses to try and eliminate or reduce the disease instances and the pest instances. So it's already taken care of, but there are still those diseases which we have to take care of them inside the greenhouse. So those two diseases, powdery mildew and botrytis, those ones, as a farmer, you need to have a very good program of fungicides to manage them. Then the other thing on protection is pests. Capsicum has so many enemies, insect pests, which affect them. Number one is thrips. Number two is broad mites, aphids, and leaf miners. I can mention only those four. So again, our spraying program takes care of all that. It's a spraying program with the 10 days interval. Unless now an instance where we realize a certain disease, like when we had that botrytis, we reduced it to 7 days. But it's a well detailed, well organized program, taking care of several pests to ensure that we have like zero pest instances, zero disease instances inside the greenhouse. The other thing about protection is weeding. As you can see, this is one of my excellent students. I'm always very keen and very tough on field hygiene, even in open field. I normally tell farmers, one thing for you to succeed as a farmer, you need to have what we call field hygiene. So the farm needs to be weed free, and it doesn't cost you a lot to ensure that we don't use herbicides here. We just do it manually. Just ensure the beds are clean, no weeds. When your field or your farm is clean, or your greenhouse has no weeds, you realize even the pests, like the sucking pest, you don't have them. And the crops, they thrive well, because again, the crops are only competing amongst themselves. They are not competing among other things. Then finally, we have now the practices. And one of the important practices, and this is where now the farmer, actually when I came here, I told them this is where they needed to start working. That is from tomorrow, what we call trellising, supporting this crop. As you can see, as the crop is bearing very heavy fruits. I want to look at one crop. The red. Let's go to the red side. The red variety seems to be bearing many fruits and big fruits. That's one. I also saw this one. So you realize that the crop, this one is actually bearing very big fruits. So you realize the crop is becomes heavy. Again, it will affect the yield. It will, where we have the branches are breaking, those will become entry points of pathogens because of the injuries. So trellising is very important. Then the other thing is pruning. Again, there's a lot of work. Let's go to where we have the yellow, because that's where I think the farmers done it somehow better. So you just up to where we have the fruits. If there is any vegetative growth below the fruits, you just do away with the with the leaves. Like for now, tomorrow we are going to harvest this fruit. I expect the farmer to just do away with that leaf. You can look at maybe another one, even this one. Tomorrow we are going to harvest these fruits. Just do away with all the leaves which are below the first fruits. If we happen to have some suckers which are coming up, you just do away with them. Because when you encourage them, the crop will have a problem with distribution, the distribution of the resources, or the distribution of what is meant for the fruits. It's not good to encourage the vegetative growth. Again, you have to be very careful. Don't strip the crop naked, because again, if you do that, the crop again will start suffering. Leaves always, and I've mentioned this even in my potato presentation, even on my onion presentation. Leaves are the factories of the food, or whatever we are harvesting. Let's remember that it's produced, or the factories are the leaves. So you have to be very careful not to strip the crop, or to overdo, or to exceed the pruning. Number two, also when pruning, again, and one of the reasons you need to ensure you need to have a balance, because I mentioned that if you happen to have a wrong polythene, let's say you ended up having a sun cover instead of a sun saver, you'll have more direct sunlight inside your greenhouse. The direct sunlight, actually you'll end up with more direct sunlight and also even more heat inside the greenhouse. So your crop will suffer several stressful conditions because of the excess heat. Number two, the issue of sun scald will be very common inside that greenhouse, and you'll struggle. But like here, we have 0 incidents. So again, one of the ways you can ensure you don't have sun scald is just ensuring the crop has a significant level of foliage. But again, varieties are different. If you look at our yellow variety compared to our red variety, our yellow variety seems not to be very vegetative. If you look at the vegetative or the foliage is less compared to, let's move where we have the red. Yeah, the red is more vegetative. Just a variety. It's more of a variety issue. Actually, it's very vegetative. But again, if you look at the yellow is ready. On our red section, actually it's coincidentally, it's only here. We have the first fruit there, another fruit here, another fruit somewhere here. Yeah, so basically that's it about our greenhouse project at this point. I expect to be back here maybe when the farmers harvested several rounds, like maybe several. We are supposed to harvest weekly. Actually, every week we are supposed to get some fruits from this greenhouse. So I've just explained what the farmer needs to do to ensure that, yeah, what we are showing there is now the transition. There's a transition. The fruits, first of all, they turn to something in between, is it brown and black, before now they transition fully to the final color, which is supposed to be either red or yellow, and we also have orange. So to ensure that longevity of harvesting, to ensure that you continue harvesting quality yields, high quality yield, and also consistently. Consistently, I mean with no fluctuation of the fruit size. Because if you started with the 4 fruits, like for this one, I can estimate we'll have 4 fruits making 1 kg. It will be very wrong for you several harvests down the line, like 3 harvests or 4 harvests, you realize you are doing like 10 fruits making 1 kg. That is not good. So just look into your nutrition and ensure the management is good. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Subscribe, contact me. I have my contact, my phone number there. Just contact me, and if you have a project or if you need any assistance, just contact me and I'll be there to help you.